if you are someone that is literally waiting for this feeling of feeling ready in order to go after your dreams, let me tell you now, you're going to be waiting a long time. I used to wait for this feeling of being ready. I thought that it was like a feeling. It was going to come one day. I was going to do enough work. I was going to prepare myself enough. I was going to be ready enough. And then the feeling of like, yeah, I'm ready. Like it would come and then I would take action and it would all just fall into place. Let me tell you a little secret. The feeling never came. the feeling still hasn't come.
The Mindspo podcast.
What do you see with your mind's eye?
Welcome back. Let's elevate. Roll your shoulders up and back. Unclench your jaw. Elongate your spine as you take a deep breath in. And now, exhale. Now take your mind to that person, place, or thing that you have gratitude for and start to feel into the joy available to you at all times. Elevate into a higher vibration as we expand together and dive into this conversation. Hello, Rochelle Fox here, and welcome to another episode of the Mindspo Manifestation Series brought to you by Manifesty app. Now, on the first episode of this series ever, I gave you my 8 steps to manifestation and really just kind of broke down manifestation 101 for you. And that's great. We know what to do. And maybe you've even been doing a lot of these steps. You're aware of the steps that you need to take in order to manifest. You're showing up, you're doing the work, and that is incredible. But what I have found with coaching and mentoring and space holding and leading people through manifestation and self-love and this beautiful world of personal development is that a lot of people know what to do and they're doing it, but at the same time, they're doing a lot of things that are actually blocking them from manifesting. They have a lot of things that are roadblocking them from getting what they want, and they don't even realize that these are roadblocks. They don't even realize that they're doing these things, and this is the thing that is preventing them from being able to fulfill this manifestation. So today I wanted to get into the 5 things that could be blocking you from your manifestations. Now, in this episode, I am going to be breaking down each one of these things. I'm going to be explaining where it comes from, even sharing how it's showed up in my own life, and then I'm going to be giving you an action step. Now, that is something that I really want you to know about this series. I am all about making manifestation easy for you, fun, and actionable. I want you to listen to this podcast and then I want you to have the next actionable step, because I don't want you just to know about manifestation. I want you to embody being a manifester, embody this way of living your life and step into being that powerful creator. So enough said, let's get into the 5 things that could be blocking you from your manifestations. Block number 1, we're starting with the big one, and that is the I am not enough story, or the I am not worthy story. This one is huge and it shows up massively with basically everyone. So if you have this one, you are not alone, and I really hope today this is going to help you move through it. I want to make one thing clear. You 110% can manifest something even if you don't feel worthy or enough. But here's the thing. It will slow you down with your manifestations if you do not feel worthy or enough. So when you move through this story, when you kind of unclog this wheel, things happen faster. And you might be a bit confused by that. You might be like, but I thought I had to believe everything in order to manifest it. And the thing is, you are worthy and you are enough. You already are that. That's just the reality. You don't have to do or change or be or transform in any way in order to be enough and to be worthy. It's just that you have a story inside your head that is telling you that you're not, even though you are. And the story is the thing that holds you back. The story is the thing that slows you down. And when you can move through that story and you become aware of that story rather than living in that story, that's when the block gets released. Because I have manifested so many things in my life, even though I didn't feel 110% worthy of them, but I've still managed to attract those things into my life because the fact of the matter is, like I just said, I am inherently worthy. I am inherently enough. We are already whole. We were born enough. We were born whole. It's just that we have a bunch of stories in our head that are telling us that we aren't, right? So at your core, you already are. You were born this way. It's not something that you need to change about yourself. But what you do need to change are the mental stories and the concepts and the ideas that you have about this. This is something that is very nuanced. And what really needs to be done with this is to go into these stories and figure out where these stories come from. Where does this belief come from? And just to get awareness of it rather than playing in it. So where does this block come from? This block generally comes from childhood. It generally comes from something that has happened in your childhood that has led you to believe that you're not enough and that you're not worthy. It can come from things that people have said to you. It can come from generational trauma. It can come from the media, society, all these conditioned beliefs that we have downloaded and just like installed into our reality that aren't actually true. It comes from the past. It comes from these things that we've experienced on our journey of life that have led us to believe a story that isn't the truth. Or maybe it is coming from a current version of yourself where you're comparing yourself to other people. You've got your focus on all these other people and you're constantly pedestaling people above yourself. And that's feeding into the story that I'm not enough. I'm never going to be good enough. Now, when it comes to manifesting, like I said, this really slows you down. And how it slows you down is you stop taking action and you stop doing things that you are actually worthy of. So an example is maybe there is a job position that you could apply for, but you're not applying for that job because you don't feel worthy of that job or you don't feel enough yet. Maybe there's a person that you want to pursue in a romantic sense and you just don't feel you are worthy of that person because you're putting them on a pedestal. So you don't even give them your number or you shy away and say, oh, no, I couldn't go on a date with you. Or maybe you don't love yourself enough. So you have absolutely no boundaries and you're constantly people pleasing and looking after everyone but yourself. And you're just draining your energy all the time because you have this story in your head that I'm not enough. I always have to give. I always need to prove myself. I always need to be there for other people when you just don't even value yourself. So what can you do about it? I have 2 action steps for this one. The first one is that has really helped me is to start reading biographies, because when you go and read someone's biography, you are going to hear about their struggles. You are going to hear about their challenges. You are going to hear about the things that they had to overcome in order to achieve whatever it is that they've achieved. Biographies are so incredible because generally every single freaking person in their biography will tell you about their I am not enough story. So go find someone that you think is inspiring and read their biography. Because when you can listen to other people's not enough stories and you realize that, oh, this is just a story. This is something that everyone's going through. This is something just to overcome. Then you'll start to see it as a story rather than identifying it as your actual identity. Now, the second step I have is to go and get help on this. Go and get a coach. Go and get someone to be your mentor on this, to work through this story. Because this is really the granddaddy of manifestation blocks. This is the thing that really slows you down. So this is something that is really worth investing time, energy, and abundance into unblocking. So hey, I'm here. I can help you with this. This is what I do. If you wanted to get my support in helping you remove this I am not enough story, or there are a whole bunch of things that we do at Mindspo that can be of service to you. So one of them is our Mindspo meditation method. If you are incredibly over-identified with that voice inside your head and you think that it's you know, that voice that's talking to you all the time, yeah, what you can do is you can start meditating and that will make you aware of that voice inside your head. So go check out the Mindspo meditation method. I'm going to have all of the details to all of these things I'm mentioning in the show notes. Another thing that you can check out is the Mindspo Self-Love Retreat. This is what I've been teaching and guiding women through for years. We have a whole entire program that is designed to help you return to love, remove that fear, let go of your limiting beliefs, and do it with a group of women that are going through this journey with you. And it is such a powerful experience. Another thing we have is our Enough course. So this was really designed off the Mindspo Self-Love Retreats, and it is a 6-week self-paced course that will take you through all of this coaching work through a series of videos that you can do at your own time so you can start working through that I am not enough story. And I wanted to announce that we also have something really exciting. If you're listening to this podcast when it comes out in April or the beginning of May, but there'll still be time, we have something called Enough Live. So I have spent most of my time teaching in person. I really spend my time teaching and coaching in person. That's what I love doing. But I am so excited about this podcast, and we have people from all around the world listening. So I really wanted to do something where I could work with you on a more intimate basis and really coach you through these things that you are struggling with. So I thought, you know what? Why not open a live round of Enough, where I can get a bunch of people all around the world that are all, moving through this I'm not enough story, moving through these stories and these limiting beliefs inside their head, and I can take you through this process. So you'll be doing my live Enough course as well as having me as your coach every single week, where I'll be jumping on live on Zoom. We'll be connecting and doing this course together, and you'll have this accountability and this community. So if you want to check that out and you want to be coached by me and dive deeper into this work, and you can really identify with this, self-sabotaging I'm not enough story, this imposter syndrome inside your mind that is holding you back from that life that you know that you want to step into, then definitely go check that out, because I am so freaking excited about it. All of that is in the show notes. Block number 2. Block number 2 is avoidance. Avoidance. This is something that I have really struggled with, and I have struggled with it in so many different shapes and forms. And it really is a kicker when it comes to manifestation, because if you have avoidance tendencies, or if you're someone that is constantly avoiding things, it can show up in multiple places. And avoidance, when it comes to blocking manifestations, can show up in a multitude of ways. And I'm going to give you some examples. So if you are avoiding looking at your finances, you're avoiding looking at your bank balance or your savings, that can really be a manifestation blocker, because you are having this avoidance with money. You are having this avoidance with your potential abundance, and you're fearing it. Then another example could be you are avoiding having hard conversations. And when you are someone that avoids having hard conversations, what generally happens is that you are also someone that is future tripping about those conversations, or thinking about those conversations and going over those conversations in your head over and over and over again. And what this does is it takes your life force, it takes your energy out of the present moment and into the future or into the past, and it drains your power from the now, which is the only moment you ever exist. So rather than having all this beautiful life force to operate and do things within the present moment where you are powerful and able to manifest, you're instead spreading it to people in the past or in the future, and you are just leaking your life force. And that can be a massive block when it comes to manifesting. Sometimes when I have been so blocked with a manifestation, it's because I'm avoiding a conversation, or I'm avoiding something that is draining my energy. And it has nothing to do with the manifestation, but my energy is going to another place. Another example is that you're avoiding taking the next step that you need to take out of fear. So you are someone that is avoiding fear. You're avoiding feeling stupid, or you're avoiding feeling like the beginner, or you're just constantly pushing things in front of yourself because of this fear that you have. And that is holding you back from living that dream life. Or maybe you're avoiding replying to emails or opportunities that have reached out. Maybe you have these manifestations that are knocking on your door, but you're just avoiding getting back for whatever reason. Another example could be that you're avoiding going to the gym because maybe you just don't know what to do and you don't want to feel like an idiot. So rather than going to the gym and starting that transformation of you going on that journey of looking after yourself, and you know that you need to do that in order to become that next version of yourself, to embody that future version of you, you're just avoiding going to the gym. You're avoiding starting the program. You're like, oh, not today, not today, not today, right? So avoidance is huge when it comes to manifesting. And if you are someone that has avoidance tendencies, a lot of the times you are blocking your manifestations because you're just avoiding all these other things, which is taking all of your power out of what could be possible for you. So I want to give you the action steps here, because this is something that I've worked a lot through. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to ask yourself, would the future version of me avoid this thing? So think about whatever it is you're avoiding in your life. And I know this isn't fun to think about, so I'm setting you a virtual hug as you listen right now. But think about the thing that you're avoiding in your life and ask yourself, would the future version of me avoid this thing? Chances are they wouldn't. So you already now probably have this answer. I'm like, okay, future version of me wouldn't be avoiding it. So you need to change that. So how do you change that? what I like to do is I like to get help on this. So think about what it is that you're avoiding. So I'm going to give you some examples. If you are avoiding going to the gym or starting that program because you don't want to feel like an idiot at the gym or because the weight room intimidates you, then you need to actively seek in getting a accountability buddy. So find someone in your life that goes to the gym or lives that healthy lifestyle or goes to that yoga class, and use them as your accountability buddy and go with them. Another example would be if you have social anxiety or you have this like deep fear of being liked, and that is why you are avoiding going to social situations that would actually be very beneficial for you growing your network, or social situations that would be very beneficial for you creating the kind of friends that you want to create, or even meeting the partner that you want to meet. One thing that you could do is you can learn how to become a more charismatic person. There's a great YouTube channel that I want to suggest to you, which is called Charisma on Command. If you want to learn about how to be more charismatic, a more likable, more approachable, a more connected person, this is such a great channel to just like binge watch, and you will just be amazed. There are so many great practical tips on that. You need to look at the thing that you're avoiding and ask yourself, how can I get better at this thing? How can I take the next step to improve this thing or to feel more confident in this thing? And then just take that next step. If you want to upgrade your manifestation game and create your reality with clarity, download Manifesty, your manifestation bestie. Manifestation movies, affirmations, meditations, everything that you need to manifest in one place. Find us in the App Store and take advantage of our free 3-day trial and level up your manifestation game today. Manifestation block number 3 is the I'll be happy when mindset. Or one of my favorites, I'll be successful when mindset. This idea of putting something off that you really could be feeling in the now and putting it ahead of you in the future and dangling it in front of you like a carrot. This putting off your feelings that you want to feel until you have achieved your manifestations is actually how you cock block them from happening, because the universe doesn't give you what you want, it matches you to what you are. Now, I have a great example here from Conor McGregor, and he's an MMA and UFC fighter. I'm sure you've seen YouTube videos of him. He is like one of my favorite people to watch when it comes to the law of attraction. Say what you want about Conor McGregor, his mindset and his mentality when it comes to law of attraction and manifestation, it is fascinating. And there are all of these clips of him where people used to say to him, like people that were interviewing him would go up to him with a microphone and say, do you think you'll win? And he would literally look at them straight in the face and say, what do you mean? I've already won. He was so clear that he was already feeling all those feelings. He was already a winner in his DNA. He was fully embodied winning that thing, being that, guy standing there with the belt around him, holding up the trophy. Like that was already his identity. There wasn't another option available to him. So he was feeling all of those feelings already. And I think that when it comes to manifesting, so many people feel like, well, how can I feel it now? Why should I feel it now? Shouldn't I wait for, the thing to happen? Isn't it that this thing needs to happen and that makes me feel a certain kind of way? And it just doesn't work like that. That's the magic of manifestation. That's how you can hack the mainframe and hack the universe. Like you can start to feel the feelings now, and that's how they're going to attract to you. So I have 2 action steps when it comes to this one. And I specifically want to use the example of I will feel successful when, or I'll be successful when, because I feel like this is a big one. Like we have this idea of success, we have this vision of success, and we want to feel successful and we want to be successful, but we're dangling it in front of ourselves like it's something outside of ourselves. Now, one of the best things that you can do is start to feel those feelings of being successful now. Start to visualize that success now. And one way that you can do this is through a manifestation technique that I put in Manifesty, and it is called the Embody Success Meditation. So if you go and do this meditation, what it will do is it will take you through this journey where you will go into your past and you will think about a time in your life that you were already feeling these feelings of success. Now, we all have examples of our life where we feel successful, where we have felt success in the past. This can be as simple as winning winning a medal at school, or getting that promotion from your boss, or making the first sale in your online business. Whatever success is to you, we all have some example in our life where we felt successful. So what this meditation does is it takes you through a journey where you think back to this moment in your life in the past where you felt successful, and you go fully back into this memory. You re-experience this feeling, you visualize it, you see it, you feel it, you go fully back into it. Then when you are in the peak of reliving that past success, you take all of those feelings, all of those emotions, and you propel them into a vision of success in your future. This is such a powerful manifestation technique because you start to embody the feeling of being successful because you've already been successful in the past, which means you can be successful in the future. You just need to feel it in the now and stop dangling it as something outside of yourself. So if you really want to experience your success right here, right now, without changing a thing, go and do the Embody Success manifestation on Manifesty app. And this is one that you can go back to every single day. When I first wrote this Embody Success manifestation meditation, I was just in this practice of doing this every single day, feeling that success in my DNA, really feeling that successful version of me. And then I started to remind myself, I've done this before. I've been successful before. I'm already a success. I can be a success in the future. This is easy for me. So try this out and let me know how you go. Now, another action step that you can take for this is you can start to show up as that successful version of yourself now by the things that you wear and the things that you buy. This is such a powerful way to start embodying that feeling of success and start to choose success for yourself in the now. This is something that I'm actively doing. So I'm in this transition phase right now where I'm not going to be spending 24/7 in Bali. I've been in Bali for the last few years and I've really loved my island girl nomadic lifestyle, but now I'm really stepping into this identity as an app founder, as someone that wants to be speaking on stages, that wants to be part of this startup culture. And in order to embody that next level version of myself, I realized that there is a very big difference in the kind of clothes that I wear. There's Bali Rochelle and the robes and the clothes that she wears. And then there's successful app founder Rochelle Fox, and she is wearing different vibes. Like I'm wearing different threads. And I realized that I've been waiting for these functions or these events in order to buy these outfits that make me feel like the future version of myself. So today I actually went to a shop and I was looking at all these different outfits, and I found this outfit that is giving speaking on stage at a tech conference, and not in a traditional boring kind of suit jacket kind of way, like in a sexy sophisticated me kind of way. And I saw this outfit and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to embody success now. I'm going to go and buy this outfit this week. They didn't have my exact size today, so I'm going back, but I'm going to buy this outfit this week, and I'm going to stop putting this successful version of myself off in the future, and I'm going to start embodying them now by being prepared, by getting the things that I know and attracting the things and choosing the things that are going to help me embody that vibration. Now, you don't have to buy something in order to feel successful, but it can be very helpful. It can be very helpful to shift your vibe through your wardrobes, to shift your vibe through the things that you are carrying on a day-to-day basis. Maybe a successful version of you doesn't use a Velcro wallet anymore. Maybe you have a really beautiful, sophisticated wallet. Maybe there are parts of you that you have in your day-to-day life that are just not making you feel like that successful version of yourself. So by looking at those things that aren't feeling in alignment with the person that you want to become and making those small changes, this can really help you remove that block of I'll be successful when, or I'll feel successful when. Like, don't put it off for the future. Start feeling it now. Start embodying it now. Start being that person right here, right now, and don't wait for that sign or that person to invite you to that thing. Choose it for yourself now. The fourth block is that you haven't imprinted your vision. What I mean is, if someone woke you up at 3 a.m. in the morning and they said, "What are you manifesting?" your subconscious should be able to immediately say what they are manifesting and what they are attracting in detail. It needs to be clear. It needs to be imprinted in your mind. Now, most people have the latest sound on TikTok imprinted in their head more than their manifestations. Now, you might be listening to this and you might be thinking, wait, imprinting my manifestations? Aren't I meant to be surrendering my manifestations? If I'm surrendering my manifestations, how am I meant to imprint my manifestations? And maybe you're getting a little bit confused. So I want to just clear this one up. It is important to surrender your manifestations, yes. But when I specifically talk about surrendering your manifestations, what I mean is you need to be in this energy that you're not obsessing about your manifestations. You're not digging them up and checking on them all the time. You're not having this desperate desiring. That to me is when you're not surrendering. You're kind of in that lack mentality. When it comes to imprinting, this isn't about wanting or desiring or like fantasizing about it and feeling like, oh, when am I going to be there? This is just about returning back to it, having your awareness and your attention back on what it is that you are manifesting. Just thinking about your goals, coming back to your goals. Remind yourself, what is my goal? Because when it comes to the bigger things that you want to manifest in your life, maybe you want to manifest a certain amount of money in your business, or you want to buy that car, or you want to get that relationship, or you purchase that house. Whatever these bigger things are that you are wanting to attract into your life, chances are there are going to be a bunch of decisions, a bunch of choices that you need to be making on a regular basis that are in alignment in order for you to get that thing. And if you're not thinking about that thing on a regular basis, your consciousness, your awareness might just go off the track. So rather than you saving that $10,000 that came through your business, this month when you were doing your coaching or whatever it is that you're doing, instead of taking that money and being like, you know what, I'm going to reinvest that money and I'm going to double my ad budget when I launch that course, and I'm going to really invest in this launch and have people come back, and I'm going to make my product even better. Maybe you take that $10,000 and then you just go, you know what, I'm going to go to Europe. And it's like, well, that would be fun and really cool. But is that smart if your goal in the next 6 months is to buy your house? So if you're not thinking about your manifestations on a regular basis, imprinting them and coming back to them and having them at the forefront of your mind, then you might be making some choices that are slowing you down. So this is something that I actually used to do a lot. I used to have a manifestation, think about the thing, and then I just used to surrender it and let it go. And then I wouldn't come back to it. And then I would be sitting 6 months later and be like, oh, where's that thing that I made that vision board over, or I did that manifestation over? And usually when I did this, it was like a pretty big thing. And then I would look at the choices that I made over the last 6 months, and I'm like, I made some choices that probably weren't very in alignment with the future version of me if I was really serious about manifesting or attracting that thing. And it was just because I wasn't thinking about it on a regular basis. I wasn't coming back to it. It wasn't at the forefront of my mind. Your action step for this one is to take your vision and put it somewhere that you're going to see it every single day so you can imprint it into your mind. So I have a bunch of suggestions and ways that you can do this. One of the most simple things that you can do is you can take this version of yourself in the future and turn it into an I am affirmation statement. For example, me podcasting, just started podcasting. So I am a successful podcaster and I transform the lives of millions of people through my microphone. So I would take that affirmation and I would write it on my bathroom mirror. Then I would write it on my full length mirror at home. Then I would take an obnoxious yellow post-it note that probably doesn't go with your aesthetic at all, put it on your wall above your computer and look at it every single day. That is one way that you can imprint that future version of you into the now and into your mind. Another thing that you can do is you can make a physical vision board. Take this vision of your future, put it on a vision board and put it somewhere that you can see it every single day. And if you want to upgrade your vision board, if you have been using vision boards for years and you're like, you know what, I'm ready for the next level. I am a manifestor now. I am the powerful creator of my reality. Well, welcome to the podcast for you, because this is the Mindspo X Manifestie podcast collaboration. And this is literally what I've created for you. So Manifestie app is literally a vision board upgraded. It is where you can create vision board movies or manifestation movies. And these are your vision boards come to life. So you take pictures of this vision, pictures of this future. Then you write affirmations that affirm that future version of you, just like that affirmation that I said that you could write on a post-it note. And then you choose from our inspiring high vibe music library, and then you make a future movie of your future life, and you watch that every single day. And I'm going to tell you now, if you do this every single day and you choose one of like our high vibe songs, especially if you go and choose, there is a song in there called Cellular Upgrade by Activation Vibration. Oh my gosh, this song, this is like my manifestation song. It is such a magical, powerful song. If you take this song and you make a vision board movie with this song and Just like, make a movie that makes you feel like so excited about your future, and watch that movie every single day when you wake up in the morning, and do it before you go look at someone else's TikTok feed or Instagram feed, or you go and stalk your ex on that side account that you have. Stop doing all those things and instead go and look and put your attention and your awareness onto that future version of you when you're in that sleepy state, when your subconscious is there and open and ready, and your reticular activating system is waiting for something to focus on. Go and do that every single morning. And I'm going to tell you now, you will not be blocked anymore when it comes to imprinting your vision, because that is the best way I know how to imprint my vision into my mind, through music, through photos, through affirmations, all together in a manifestation movie. And that's what Manifesty is all about. So those are some action steps that you can take on that one. Now we are on to our fifth and final manifestation block for today. This one. This one is a doozy, and this one is very personal because I feel like I would not be talking to you today or doing anything in my life today if I didn't get over this block. So this is something that can change your life. So are you ready? It is the block that you are waiting to feel ready. So if you are someone that is literally waiting for this feeling of feeling ready in order to go after your dreams, let me tell you now, you're going to be waiting a long time. I used to wait for this feeling of being ready. I thought that it was like a feeling. It was going to come one day. I was going to do enough work. I was going to prepare myself enough. I was going to be ready enough. And then the feeling of like, yeah, I'm ready. Like it would come, and then I would take action and it would all just fall into place. Let me tell you a little secret. The feeling never came. The feeling still hasn't come. I haven't gotten that feeling. And if you have got that feeling, great. A lot of people don't. And I'm one of those people. So in the words of Preston Smiles, who is a coach that I absolutely love, he says this line, which it's just so good. And it is, ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. Ready is not a feeling, it's a decision. And I'm just like, snaps, amen. Ain't that the truth, right? The concept of being ready is a complete and utter illusion. Waiting to feel ready when it comes to going after your dreams is literally the fastest way to keep your dreams as dreams forever. Like, it is the way to kill your dreams, like tumbleweeds. It's just never going to happen if you're just waiting to feel ready. So I wasn't ready to start this podcast. There was no feeling of readiness inside me when I started this podcast. I literally had to make the decision to just start. And I had been wanting and feeling and thinking and dreaming about this podcast for years. And the feeling of feeling ready to start, it never came. And you know what else never came? The feeling of feeling ready to be a meditation teacher. I had a decision, I had a voice, I had intuition, but I never actually felt ready. I also never felt ready to teach my first retreats. I haven't felt ready basically to do anything that I've ever done in my life. I have been waiting for the feeling. It's still not here. And I think that this is just such a thing that blocks people, because I don't know where it is in culture or what happened in our lives where we misinterpreted this idea of readiness as a feeling, as like some kind of thing that happens in our body where it just like, this feeling comes and then you do the thing. That's just not my experience of reality. Readiness is something that you can start to experience after you've done things many times. Like I have started to feel like, I kind of feel like it's time to do this. But that's after I've done something like a lot. But when I first start something, oh my gosh, the feeling of readiness doesn't exist. And if you're waiting to feel ready, you're just going to be waiting for such a long time. So I want you to understand that this feeling of readiness is an illusion. It is an illusion, and it is something that you can just control, alt delete today. Like if you take anything away from this podcast today, if you could just delete this idea and this concept that readiness is a feeling, this will change your life, because you will stop waiting for this feeling, and then instead you'll realize that it's actually just a decision. It's something that I choose. I choose when I start things, just like you choose everything else in your life. Everything that you do in your life is a choice, and it's for you to decide. So you get to decide when you go ready, set, go. And that can be at any point that you decide it. So here's your action step, okay? I want you to just start somewhere. Whatever it is that you want to start, whatever it is that you've been waiting to feel ready about, just start somewhere. Destroy the idea that you need to be anywhere rather than where you are right now, and just start where you're at and accept that it's going to be imperfect. Accept that it's going to be messy. Accept that it might not feel great when you do it, but you know what? At least you're starting. And that is the hardest part. That is the thing that blocks most people when it comes to everything, because they just don't start. So many people have this life that they could be living, this reality that could be theirs, but they just never took the first step. But you're not like most people, are you? Because you're here and you're listening to this podcast and you're part of this community. So you're going to take action today. I know you are, because you're here and you're listening for a reason. And the reason you're probably listening is because there is something inside of you that wants to play a bigger game, that wants to step into a different version of yourself that is ready. There is a part of you that is ready. So just decide to start and stop putting things off for tomorrow or next week or next year, and just start today. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this podcast episode. I absolutely love doing these solo episodes with you every single Monday. And if you got any value out of today's podcast, one way that you can pay it forward to me and my small team is just to take a few minutes out of your day today to rate and review this podcast and leave us 5 stars on the Apple Podcasts app or on Spotify, wherever you listen to us. I cannot tell you how much this helps us out, especially as a brand new podcast. Reviews and ratings are absolutely everything. So I am so appreciative, and I've been reading all the reviews, and I can't thank you enough. It really helps us out. So thank you so much. I've loved this conversation. If you enjoyed it, let me know on social media. You can find me at Rochelle_Fox and at Mindspo. Let me know what you want to hear on the podcast next. And don't forget to check out the Mindspo Soul Fam. This is our brand new Facebook group, our community that is filled with people all around the world that are interested in manifestation, personal development, personal growth, meditation. So you can find all of that in the show notes, as well as details on my next live round of Enough. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for joining me for this episode. You can discover more from Mindspo on Instagram and TikTok by following at Mindspo and myself at Rochelle_Fox. If this episode inspired you, then please pass it on and share the love. And if you're new to our world and you want to elevate your mind and step into your best self, then be sure to download our app, Manifesty, from the App Store and take advantage of the free trial. With Manifesty, you can create your own vision board movies, practice powerful meditations, and set affirmation reminders so your phone supports your journey towards that abundant vision of your future. And lastly, always remember, you create your own reality. So go and make some magic.